Hello everyone, welcome to Arpita Sharma classes. Today we are going to analyze the Hindu newspaper. आप सभी का अर्पिता शर्मा क्लासेस में स्वागत है। मैं हूं अर्पिता शर्मा, आप सभी की एजुकेटर, और आज हम द हिंदू न्यूज़पेपर को एनालाइज करने जा रहे हैं फॉर 20th May 2020. The PDF of the classes will be uploaded on my Telegram channel Simplifying UPSC with Ease. Link is given below in the description box. Simplifying UPSC with Ease नाम है टेलीग्राम चैनल का, जहां आपको क्लास का PDF मिल जाएगा और extra class notes and notifications etc. will be available on my Telegram channel. Let's start without any delay. ऑल्सो आप सभी को पता होगा कि जो प्रीलिम्स की अब एग्जाम डेट है वो 5 जून 2020 को पता चलेगी. नाउ यू ऑल विल बी informed about the prelims 2020 exam date on 5th June 2020. The UPSC will announce the final exam dates on 5th June after assessing the COVID-19 situation. COVID-19 इस situation को assess करने के बाद 5th जून 2020 को जो यूपीएससी की प्रीलिम्स एग्जाम की रियल डेट होगी वो अनाउंस की जाएगी यूपीएससी के द्वारा. ऑलराइट, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel for daily Hindu news analysis, important international organizations classes, daily MCQs, strategy classes, polity classes, etc. And also you can subscribe to Unacademy Plus, where I'm taking paid courses on art and culture, on covering the last 1 year's current affairs, and you can get 10% discount easily by using this referral code Sharma20. अगर आप Unacademy Plus पे सब्सक्रिप्शन लेना चाहते हो 1 month, 6 month, 3 months के लिए या 12 months, 24 months के लिए, तो आपको 10% का डिस्काउंट easily मिल जाएगा Sharma20 रेफरल कोड यूज करके. So let's begin. These are the important news which we are going to cover. इनमें से 2 editorials हैं. First is 3 lakh evacuated as Amphan hurtles towards Bengal coast. So super cyclone Amphan has weakened slightly and is expected to make landfall between Digha in West Bengal and Hatia Islands in Bangladesh. Remember that Hatia Islands is in Bangladesh. ये आपके geographical location के लिए important है. This is very important. Where are Hatia Islands located? They are in Bangladesh. Okay. Now according to IMD's latest estimate, Amphan would temper down to a very severe cyclonic storm. अभी बहुत ही severe cyclonic storm का ये form लेने वाला है, when it will make a landfall also. And about 3,35,000 people in West Bengal and Odisha have been evacuated so far. 41 teams of NDRF, including 7 reserves, have been deployed in West Bengal and Odisha. So first of all, how these cyclones are characterized or classified? Cyclones are classified based on the wind speed. अपने wind speed की वजह से इसको classify किया जाता है, right? Around the low pressure area where the cyclones are formed, what is the wind speed according to which it is classified? If the wind speed is over 62 km per hour, more than 62 km per hour, then it is classified as tropical cyclone. Okay, जब इसकी स्पीड जो होती है, विंड स्पीड 62 किलोमीटर पर आवर से ज्यादा होती है, तब इसे हम ट्रॉपिकल साइक्लोन का नाम देते हैं. इट बिकम्स अ सीवियर साइक्लोनिक स्टॉर्म इफ स्पीड इज बिटवीन 89 to 118 किलोमीटर पर आवर. जब 89 से 118 किलोमीटर पर आवर की स्पीड होती है, देन इट इज नोन एज सीवियर साइक्लोनिक स्टॉर्म. A very severe cyclonic storm if the speed is between 119 and 221 km per hour. Over here, very severe cyclonic storm means wind speed will be between 119 to 221 km per hour. Those with higher speeds are categorized under super cyclonic storms. This is very very important for prelims. इसको note down कर लीजिए, ये prelims के लिए बहुत important है. Classification you should know. Now, why the east coast more cyclones are formed in Bay of Bengal than the Arabian Sea? This question can come in prelims. ऐसा क्यों होता है कि ज्यादा साइक्लोन्स आपके अरेबियन सी के बजाय बे ऑफ बंगाल में बनते हैं? इट इज ड्यू टू द विंड पैटर्न. इट इज ड्यू टू द विंड पैटर्न दैट कीप्स द ओशंस कूलर ऑन द वेस्टर्न साइड. That is why more cyclones are formed in east coast. Even among those formed along the western coast, many move towards Oman instead of hitting Indian shores. Storms formed on the eastern coast, however, are more intense. Underline this. And since states that on that particular side, the eastern side have relatively flatter topography compared to western coast, they cannot deflect the winds. That is why more devastation you can see on the eastern coast. इसी वजह से eastern coast में ज्यादा तबाही देखने को मिलती है. Meteorologists and atmospheric science experts state that higher than normal temperature in Bay of Bengal may be wetting the super cyclones, and the lockdown indirectly may have played a role. Another researchers have said that elevated ocean temperature this year could be explained by the lockdown. Reduced particulate matter emissions during the lockdown meant fewer aerosols such as black carbon that are known to reflect sunlight and heat wave from the surface. And cyclones, they gain their energy from the heat and moisture generated from warm ocean surfaces. Hence, we have seen this year a very huge cyclone Amphan in Bay of Bengal. Right? These are the reasons given by scientists and researchers. Next important editorial is the changing nature of Chinese diplomacy. Here the author of the article, who is Vijay Gokhale, he is a former Foreign Secretary of India. He analyzes the changes in Chinese diplomacy over the years. So he is talking about the historical background of Chinese diplomacy, how it has evolved during the past times. पहले से अब तक क्या हिस्टोरिकल डेवलपमेंट, क्या ऐसी एवोल्यूशन और डेवलपमेंट हुई है चाइनीज डिप्लोमेसी में, ये इस आर्टिकल में बात की गई है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, फर्स्ट इज इट वॉज द Zhao Enlai era. As against the charismatic Mao Zedong, who had famously stated that power flows out of the barrel of the gun, Zhao Enlai opted for more refined approach. He adopted strategy of persuasion and compromise. अब जो Zhao Enlai era था चाइना में, इनकी लीडरशिप के अंडर, Zhao Enlai की लीडरशिप के अंडर, वो कहते थे कि परसुएशन, कॉम्प्रोमाइज और डिप्लोमेसी ऐसे टूल्स हैं जो कि कंट्री को प्रॉस्पर करने में हेल्प करेंगे. ही यूज्ड टू फोकस मोर ऑन कॉम्प्रोमाइज रादर टू बी वायलेंट, right, to seduce his opponents and challengers both domestically and internationally. The use of force was rare, and only when all other means of persuasion failed, only then the use of force was done. उनके एरा में क्या होता था कि जो फोर्स का, वायलेंस का जो यूज था, प्रेशर का जो यूज था, वो ज्यादा नहीं होता था. कोशिश ये रहती थी कि आराम से समझा बुझा के बात मनवा ली जाए. Chinese diplomatic strategy was consistent: avoid isolation, build solidarity, non-aligned countries, divide the West. The tactics were called United Front, which involved isolating the main threat by building unity with all the other forces. Mainly इनका aim, इनका target करने का तरीका था United Front. That means जिसको आपको चाहते हो कि जिसको आप आइसोलेट करना चाहते हो, जिससे आपकी दुश्मनी है, उसको अकेला कर दो और उसके आसपास की कंट्रीज को अपना दोस्त बना लो. Right? Clear? Now, there are certain examples. For example, war in Korean Peninsula. During the war, Zhao Enlai first tried to convey Chinese concerns to the advancing US forces against further advancement. पहले तो क्या किया इन्होंने, Zhao Enlai ने US forces को समझाने की कोशिश करी. This he tried to convey through diplomatic channels rather than choosing to do so in the public domain. Openly आके इन्होंने कुछ नहीं किया, इन्होंने diplomatic channels के थ्रू अपनी बात कन्वे करने की कोशिश की. This shows that he always chose to give diplomacy a chance. That means diplomacy was his priority. When, however, US, regardless of Chinese concerns, crossed the 38th parallel, Chinese attacked and brought the US forces to a standstill. जब बातों से बात नहीं चली, तब इन्होंने हाथों का इस्तेमाल किया. Then comes the Indo-China War also. फिर आया आपका इंडो चाइना वॉर. इन 1954 वियतनामीज वर विनिंग अगेंस्ट फ्रेंच इन द फर्स्ट इंडो चाइना वॉर, एंड अमेरिकन्स वर प्रिपेयरिंग टू इंटरफेयर ऑन द साइड ऑफ फ्रेंच, फियरिंग एन इंक्रीज्ड स्प्रेड ऑफ कम्युनिज्म. सो चाइना सेल्फ इंटरेस्ट ले इन एंडिंग द वॉर while denying US a foothold in its backyard. Instead of direct confrontation, Zhao's strategy was to undermine Western unity. यानी कि Western unity को तोड़ना इनकी पहली foremost planning थी. He said that instead of violence or instead of direct attack, what should I do is I should break the Western unity. So his tactful intervention in placating French concerns played an important role in de-escalating the tensions. Basically, ये अटैक से ज्यादा, अटैक इनकी पॉलिसी नहीं थी, इनकी पॉलिसी थी कॉम्प्रोमाइज, इनकी पॉलिसी थी टॉकिंग. राइट? Then come the Bandung Conference. At the Afro-Asian Conference in 1955 in Bandung, Zhao Enlai deliberately kept a low profile. He allowed India and Indonesia to take the lead. This allowed China to create conducive conditions for establishing diplomatic work or diplomatic relation with other Afro-Asian countries. And then came the Cold War era. Here also Chinese people and the Chinese leadership, they showed very exemplary, you can say, character of using diplomatic channels to pacify things. He maintained ties with both the blocs, सोवियत यूनियन और यूएस दोनों के साथ ही इन्होंने एक सा बर्ताव किया, किसी को ऐसा नहीं आभास होने दिया कि मैं किसी एक के साथ हूं, and that is why it remained in the good books of both the sides. Then the significance of his strategies is Zhao's style of diplomacy came to define Chinese foreign policy over the next half century. This helped China expand its global presence and gain international acceptability. Now came the second era, which is the Deng Xiaoping era, right? Deng Xiaoping era. Deng Xiaoping took over the Chinese premiership in 1980s in the early days of China's opening up to the outside world, that is globalization. ग्लोबलाइजेशन के दौरान डेंग ज़ाओपिंग ने चार्ज लिया, राइट? डेंग सप्लीमेंटेड ज़ाओ's strategy with a 24 character strategy which involves significant aspects like measured response to changes. That means whatever changes are being taken place on the international front, we have to respond to it very calculatively, securing gradually Chinese position in global order, hiding its capacities, maintaining a low profile and not claiming leadership. इन्होंने शुरू में लीडरशिप क्लेम करने से अपने आप को पीछे रखा, शुरू में ऐसा ही दिखाया कि हम सबके साथ मिलकर चलना चाहते हैं. Now what are the significant events in his ruling? China played host to many significant global leaders. China normalized relations with many nations. Successful Chinese diplomacy led to Americans breaking their own sanctions imposed after 1989 Tiananmen incident. Also, China entered into the World Trade Organization. And now the current era. China has begun to occupy center stage in world diplomacy now, but there have been significant changes in the Chinese diplomatic efforts. अब China leader की position लेने की कोशिश कर रहा है. It is a time trying to adopt one size fits all approach. It is now adopting more assertive approach in the international era. It is increasing unilateralism. It is laying less emphasis or less focus on negotiations, persuasions, right? So recent, examples you can see. The South China Sea issue. Chinese have pursued unilateralism instead of negotiations in South China Sea. China has resorted to repeated border skirmishes with neighboring countries like India, Nepal, Bhutan. China has not been accepting blame for its handling the COVID-19 pandemic also. Next important news, CBI alerts authorities to malware threat. CBI has sent alerts to all the states, union territories and central agencies on a malicious software threat that uses an update related to COVID-19 pandemic. The alert related to banking Trojan and Cerberus has been sent on the basis of inputs received from Interpol. It is primarily used to steal financial data like credit card numbers. Alerts have been sent informing that this malicious software takes advantage of COVID-19 pandemic to impersonate and send SMS using the lure of COVID-19 related content to download the embedded malicious link. तो किसी भी तरीके का लिंक आपको आता है via text, उसको डाउनलोड मत करना, क्लिक मत करना. Trojan can also use overlay attacks to trick victims into providing personal information and can capture two-factor authentication details as well. Next important news. India-US to collaborate on vaccine trials. India and US are planning to work together on vaccine research and testing for COVID-19. US and Indian scientists have been collaborating on key research questions, fostering the development and testing of safe, cost-effective vaccines against range of infectious disease that could save innumerable lives in India and US. Vaccine Action Program, very important for prelims. The Vaccine Operation Program, it's the Indo-US Vaccine Action Program. याद रखना कौन सी countries involved हैं, which countries are involved, you have to remember. It's a 33-year collaboration between US National Institute of Health and Indian Department of Biotechnology and ICMR. These three departments are involved. Remember this for prelims. So this was all for today. I hope you enjoyed today's class. If you really enjoyed it, do not forget to share this video with other aspirants, like the video and also subscribe to my channel for the further notifications.